Let's work on the Regent. So A10 on the Silent, Ironclad, and Defect have been achieved. Honestly, the Necrobinder was like my favorite character for a bit, and then I just stopped playing her. I don't know why. I just had too much fun with the other characters. By the way, these little constellations are characters from the game, and I love it, and it's awesome. So let's do Ascension 9 on the Regent. I love this character. I played it recently, and I wanted to do like a card generation deck, and that went really well. This is something I've been messing around with. Large Capsule got me killed in a recent Silent run that I think I posted on the channel, or maybe that one didn't make it into a video, something like that. But it's interesting because adding a strike and defend is something you never want to do. I mean, it's a boss relic inside the Spire 1 and an ancient relic in this game, the Empty Cage, which removes 2 cards. It is a really, really big deal to remove 2 cards. So to just add 2 right away is scary. However, this character has multiple cards that can transform those into much better attacks. So let's mess around with it. Jaws Paper, that's interesting. We can exhaust cards. Is transforming exhausting? I think the cards you transform into exhaust, so that's actually good. And 10th attack is Pendant. So, all right. Basically, this run is going to be focused on getting rid of those strikes and defends. Ooh, I like this path a lot. So let's detail it. I'm going to have squiggly lines because I always get nervous when I record. I'm just not used to it. And yeah, that's nice. We have multiple places to bail if we don't want to take all the elites. And there's a similar path on the right side. This is awesome. This is sometimes what I would detail as like a perfect path. You've got 3 enemies, 2 events. You got a rest site in case you need it. Then you've got an elite, which is great for rewards. Campfire, easy, chest. Another campfire after an elite, so we can rest up if that went really poorly. And then a really late shop with hopefully 250 gold or so. That's a good start. That's a good start. Falling Star Strike is just as full of a block as we can get. So I'm going to do that. Venerate probably should have gotten played, but I want to just keep the damage on him as much as I can. I'm not going to take unnecessary damage. We don't have a guaranteed lethal next turn. We're probably just going to be blocking or hopefully getting Venerate off or strike. Wow. Okay. So he probably could have gotten lethal, but that's still, we're going to get that taken care of. I don't want to overthink these early game fights too much. Royal Gamble's very early. We would have to play Venerate and ignore Falling Star to get that in play. That would solve a lot of star-based cards. Not a bad... You know what? I think I'm just going to go for it. I can pick that up and then focus on star cards from there on out. All right, spoils map or a random potion. Again, my whole focus is going to be getting rid of the map, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. We have now taken 3 extra cards that are not good to deal with. We're getting stuck with a surprise enemy fight, and that's just unfortunate. I think we can do Venerate just for Royal Gamble. Yeah, 6 damage matters, but I don't want this to be a curse. So that can just exhaust, get out of my way. Ooh, and that's a pet nib. I guess the Falling Star does more. I would have preferred a vulnerable pet nib strike, but, you know, got to pay more attention to that. And sometimes you just can't control it. Defend makes perfect sense here. I'm trying to take as little damage as I can early on. I want to push offense, and this is the turn for that. But I don't want to take unnecessary stuff. Cure-All is awesome. That is one of those potions that can really, really help in a fight. And I gotta take a card at some point. So, with Royal Gamble, we are pretty focused on getting lots of star cards. So Crescent Spear currently is kind of a prospective pickup. I'm grabbing this hoping it gets stronger, but 14 damage for 1 star is not bad. And here's the thing about grabbing Royal Gamble. I pretty much need to save everything for Venerate. You start with 3. That's extremely important. If I spend that 1 star, I cannot get Royal Gamble off, and that could change the entire fight. It is just like a normal floor here, but if I play Spear right now, that's a dead card. Unfortunately, though, it's easy to consider. We are in the early game. Like, this is a third of its health. So probably more important to think like that for an elite fight, but these are just things that are important. Now, obviously, we don't need to play Royal Gamble. We can just do this and maybe Cure-All to save 6. I doubt it. Not Royal Gamble, but Venerate. And I think we'll still kill, no problem. Yeah, I don't want to take 9. Oh, we are pen nibbing, actually. So that should be perfectly lethal. So pen nib is one of those relics that's kind of tricky. You have to keep up with it. If you're not ready for it, it can be annoying. That's awesome. Hits enemies twice. We don't want to spend that on the Phantom, but it is something that uses stars, and that'll make the Spear do more as well. So I like that as a pickup. We are probably going to dodge this because we got our 3 fights. And I think there are 3 easy early game fights, and then you get into the hard pool. So I'm going to go straight up from here, hoping to actually get an event this time, or a Mental Fan is an awesome pickup. I've been keeping track more of what's an uncommon relic and what's a rare relic. I'm actually not 100% sure about all that, but yeah. This is where we could probably retain Royal Gamble, or honestly just make Venerate do like one more star. That way we could actually play Crescent Spear, and I think that's such a weirdly specific upgrade that it works. Like, I think we need to play Venerate first before we get Royal Gamble anyway. Retaining this would help the draw order, but I honestly think just getting one more star allows everything to work perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm pausing to read chat, because something that happens when I stream these is I often lose track of my stream chat, or I just get focused on the recording, and I don't want to be that guy. So, yeah, I think this is a good strength fight. No, I think Cure All might actually be better here. We're going to block 4 just from attacking. It's not going to be lethal. 12 down to 39 plus 8. 31, 16, that'd be 18 down to like 13 health left. So it's not quite lethal, and I think Cure All in an elite fight just makes sense, and that's just more attacks. So I think I'm going to do both. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think we're going to make the difference on killing. So we're going to defend what we can, and then I really want Royal Gamble to get afforded. I just don't want it to be a curse in my deck. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think Astral Pulse is something we're going to need to be able to afford later versus the minions, and this is a turn where I kind of wish I had Cure All, to be honest. We're going to draw an extra one when Ascender's Bane goes away. I'm just going to push some damage here. And unfortunately, we don't have any of our transform stuffs going on with these infections. They're going to be pretty annoying, but I think this is going to be a good turn, because 1, 2, and we're gonna get a Pen-Nibbed Astral Pulse. Gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. It's so good. Like, the restraint to not play that early is so brutal, but if you can line up Pen-Nib and get a little lucky drawing that before the infections, I'm happy. 6 damage 3 times could be great. We don't have any normal strength scaling, so without Vigor, this is kind of tricky. Spectrum Shift is generating more cards. That's not an advantage yet. Random Colorless could be good. I can upgrade this immediately, and that's probably the only reason I will grab that. And then Warpaint gives us Royal Gamble. That's a really, really nice upgrade. I did want it. I didn't do it earlier, but I did want that. 35 out of 75 is sketchy, but I'm going for it. I'm going for it. And then Permafrost will help so much. If I can get that on a turn, yeah. Spectrum Shift when he's attacking. That's just 7 block. I love that. And then we can get a defend. And this is definitely a strength potion fight. I need to push damage as much as I can. So I'm going to be throwing out at least 1 attack per turn. Unfortunate draw order. So again, if I Falling Star, Crescent Spear, that might be my best chance at winning. I did upgrade Venerate, so there's a chance we could actually get Royal Gamble off, but maybe we just never need to play it, because I can afford this, I can afford that, and I can afford Astral Pulse, and I am strength boosted, so if we get prep time, Astral Pulse to do that much more, so I like it. Let's do that. 27 damage, and that will block for 4. It's pitiful, but he is weakened, so only taking 5 damage versus an elite like this, not too bad. And the way that these rest sites are so perfect, being able to rest after this when I don't have any super meaningful upgrades is a really, really nice thing to have. Secret Technique could go and grab a defend. It's not that exciting, but to at least just move the fight forward is nice, and exhausting one thing does just progress that in a way that's very nice. So Pen-Nib is a ways off here. We can Astral Pulse Strike for 4 or defend for 5, which is kind of a no-brainer. That obviously needs to take advantage of the Vigor, and of course, because we had that, we get lethal. So Spectrum Shift kind of want us to fight there, and now we have a potion that can spawn in a sword. And is Rainbow Ring a rare relic? I thought it would be. Yeah, 1 strength and 1 dexterity is huge. So we only have 1 power right now, but whenever we play Spectrum Shift, we need to make sure that we at least play a skill and an attack in the same turn. Reflect would just be awesome. It would be another thing using our stars, which means draw order becomes more important than ever before. But especially versus Phantom, where it's attacking itself with that attack, that just makes sense. I was going to upgrade what? No, I think I was going to rest because I said I don't have meaningful upgrades. And I am going into a shop. So I think I should rest. I think we are getting pretty low. I mean, if you look at the map, we're just kind of bleeding health. 9 here. We're taking 11 there. You know, it's just adding up bit by bit by bit. Our deck is coming along great. I think Permafrost is going to help a lot. Oh, I mean, come on. We can't. I mean, seriously? The very late shop that we've been building for this entire time. I don't want 5 max HP, but all of my gold? Bro, come on. So, this is where things get interesting. Sparkling Rouge, is that a rare relic? Based on the price, I think it is. It's actually quite strong. 1 strength and 1 dexterity is what we're trying to get out of Rainbow Ring. That will help this deck. I'll block more. I mean, that's basically Vajra and Oddly Smooth Stone in the same card. Whenever you create a card, gain strength. So, when we have that and Spectrum Shift going, we are going to be getting 1 strength per turn. That is some really nice scaling. That's a lot stronger than at least the strength half of this relic. We have no enchanted attacks, so I don't believe that's going to do anything right now. Restlessness is fine. I don't expect to have an empty hand too often. We do have, you know, some notable zeros. There's a possibility there. A basic card remove is always great. Lead Opener is nice. But I think Arsenal is actually, like, exactly what we need. And Arsenal and Manifest Authority are great. This gives us block and a card generation. A second Spear is just funny, because they will boost each other. And I like it. And they don't scale with strength, so it's not like we need that to be draining our Astral Pulse, because that's really it. Astral Pulse will get the most benefit from the strength, and saving my stars for that makes sense. It makes me very glad every time I play Venerate, upgrade it'll give me an Astral Pulse. So I want Crescent Spear. I just don't actually think it makes sense in this deck. But yeah, Arsenal, Spectrum Shift, Colorless Generation is great. This is just, you know, if Goddess wasn't subscribing right now, jeez. Look at that turn. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 7 damage. Take that. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, colorless card? Yeah, it doesn't cost anything other than... Sure. At the start of your turn, return this to your hand. I mean, it's damage. It counts. Let's... We're gonna have a sword. I might as well... Okay, so here's something interesting. Pendant is right here. I could do that with Falling Star, but there's just too much that has to happen. I got 2 powers that need to be put in play. I don't think it's going to matter. And I don't think... Yeah, I think I like this idea. Let's do this. We're going to do Bolus. And then Pendib is on 9s. Yes, Sovereign Blade does 60 damage. I think that's a good use. We had a very pitiful turn 1, and that at least moves things along. So, Spectrum Shift, of course. That'll be 7 block at least. Astral Pulse and Falling Star are just a little early. We could weaken him to save health, and that's the only reason I would play that. I think we're going to wait. Well, actually, Venerate is next turn. We can afford to spend 2 stars. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, that makes sense. And of course, that gets me the Strength and Dexterity, which I was about to get anyway, but cool. All right, yeah. So we're just taking 6 damage, and I can't do math. Venerate is no longer going to be able to afford that. That's unfortunate. Spectrum Shift, start your turn, add 1 colorless card in your hand, and that was production. That's beautiful. And then Arsenal, of course, will be stacking up damage. Royal Gamble, going to need some help later on. And then production, I think, just makes sense here for sure. Because then we could just do attack, attack, attack. Yeah, Crescent Spirit. Like, I could Royal Gamble for stars, but I can clearly afford my star generation cards. Like, they don't need any help, and I'm going to kill them anyway. Here I am dramatically overthinking this fight while having lethal in hand. This is what I'm looking for. Begone. I need to just slowly slim out my deck, and I'm not forgetting about Joss Paper. Begone is also advancing that, which I really, really like. So, Arsenal and 8 just makes perfect sense. An upgraded colorless card and more block could be dramatic. That's really, really good. I like that a lot. I think Arsenal on turn 1 is interesting because that'll weaken our turn 1s, but we also have Permafrost. So it means we'll be playing this turn 1 every time, whether or not they're attacking. But you can see the boss is doing 8 damage, and now we're only taking 1. So that's as simple as that gets. Astral Pulse, I did pick it up for this fight. That is a lot of stars to whittle down that. I think I'm going to get rid of Defend here. And then this will draw 2 cards. Just because of Joss Paper. Gets these out of the way, which is fine. I can afford Crescent Spear, which is, again, an expensive attack. And I did trigger Rainbow Ring, right? I played a skill, and that was an attack. And this is highlighting. Does that mean that I am not getting access? Because my dexterity went up. First time you play. Is it highlighting because it activated already? Let me see how that works exactly. Because now it's not highlighting. Okay, so this is glowing when it's already happened. Okay, great. And this is, again, where Reflect kind of makes sense. But, I mean, we can block all but 2. And then we'll just keep that pressure on. Pendib is on 8. And it's going to get wasted the first cycle. There's really just no way to avoid that. This is where I really wished I'd have found... Reflect. This is the turn for that. Yeah, okay. Impatience might happen. What are we hoping to draw from that? Nothing that'll help. I think Falling Star as I said, we're gonna waste the pen nib. There's just no way to get around it. That and that is at least 4 block. That's the most we can do. Impatience is like maybe gonna get Royal Gamble in my hand early, but then Spectrum Shift, like, yeah. And I know I wasted all my stars. I basically needed to play Venerate there, or else Royal Gamble is just a curse, but it's kind of a tricky situation regardless. So that's power. Yeah, attack and skill. So that at least gives me a permanent strength and dexterity upgrade, and I'm loving this. With Spectrum Shift now, we're up to 5 strength. Fisticuffs. Ooh, we're so close. We're so close to that actually being useful. I will not be able to play with Astral Pulse. That's just unfortunate. So that's a full block on its own. And we can just continue on and get 1 block from that. Woo! Let's go! Chris with the Prime sub as well. These guys are 20 seconds off a hype train. I don't know if that's going to happen, but they should know we're close. Jackpot? I mean... that sounds awesome. It might not be objectively the correct play. Venerate, Royal Gamble is just staring me down right now, but I mean, it's Jackpot. I know I'm wasting it because it's 1 on the Slippery. So I could wait for a whole deck rotation, but I don't have that much card draw, and I got Wounds threatening to torture me here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Big Bang gives me some energy. I like that. And then that wasn't a power, so we can't activate Rainbow Ring, I don't think. Each skill, okay. Every 3 skills, put that back. So we can do that, and then that's a skill. And then we can do this. And then, I don't think we're going to get it back, but at least we got the Ornamental Fan. Falling Star would reduce his incoming damage. Oh wait, I already have enough for Royal Gamble, because I played Venerate. There we go, alright. I definitely made a mistake then, losing track of that. But now we at least got Royal Gamble played. Embarrassed for forgetting, but here we are. Manifest Authority. Sovereign Blade is almost lethal. I mean, that's just awesome. What do we got here? Colorless card? Sure, why not? Dark Shackles? I mean, yeah. It's not his multi-attack, but I'll take it. And then we've got Reflect if we wanted to play it. I really want to pen nib Sovereign Blade. And I think 38 versus... Okay, 38 for free? Damn! What is the base damage of Make It So? Holy crap. I mean, I guess. That's most of the damage I wanted to do. And then we can, yeah. Cool. And then 19 damage strike because we have 13 strength. Do all these wounds count? They do not. But every single turn it goes up 1. And then all these colorless cards, look at this. Be Gone into Wound is 15 strength. Like, it just goes up and up and up. The deck is coming together. The deck is coming together. Kazusa, thank you for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Oh, this is looking good. Void Form. Okay. There's a lot to consider here. So first and foremost, Tyranny is a very, very strong card. Extra card draw, exhausting will slim out our deck, which is something we need. I mean, we opened by adding a Strike and Defend, these ones actually, and a Spoils map. We could just exhaust that midway through, although we're about to deal with that. Guards is just awesome. That plus an innate, let me just try and find it. That plus an innate arsenal means I could just delete my entire hand, get 5 strength, a bunch of defense. I could draw a card off Jaws paper. Like, there's a lot that Guards allows me to do. And that, of course, applies to statuses that enemies can give you. Void Form is Void Form. So that's just the end of that argument. I won't be able to afford it. Though, if I had Void Form, it would make Royal Gamble... Oh, it would make all of my star cards free. It would just make them free. Which it has been a problem. Royal Gamble does retain now, though. It's the thing, because Void Form is like the easiest thing I want the most. I will say Tyranny does sort of give us another Rainbow Ring activation if we can line it up. Guards is already just a very strong card. That plus Jaws Paper and my oversized deck as it is just makes this a very, very nice card. I think I want to play around with Guards. I mean, honestly, you give me 3 different runs, 3 different days, 3 different brain spaces to make this decision, and I have 3 different answers. But I like Guards. I think this is the one that can bail you out. Void Form is like the easy card you would pick up for a free win. That's pretty much Royal. That's pretty much that for you. But I think Guards is the one that really works with what I wanted to do. I picked up too many cards from the very beginning, and I said we're going to be getting rid of cards. Very Hot Cocoa is tricky. I don't have Bega Prep. I have nothing guaranteeing a very strong turn 1. Brightest Flame is just broken. This card is absolutely insane, and I love it. Wax Relics are really fun. They melt away, so they don't last forever, but Brightest Flame is Really, really interesting. Someone's asking me how I don't get bored playing Save the World after getting to the end game. I'm playing Slay the Spire 2 right now. That's how you don't get bored. If a game is boring you, you play a different game. That's fine. I don't play Fortnite every day. I think Brightest Flame is the one I want to do. Because I didn't grab Void Form, which in my opinion is like a free win card, Brightest Flame just makes sense. You don't need that much max HP. We're at 80, which is great. Did anything raise my max HP? Yeah, 5 at one point. So I get 5 plays of that for free. It's a little early for a shop. I would like an elite. This right path over here is looking a lot better for me. Madia with the prime sub kicking off a hype train. This is always going to be, you know, 600 gold. So I would love a shop after that. And that's the thing about this event. So 600 gold makes this shop extremely tasty. Skipping double elites sucks. I mean, campfires here makes this a very, very safe path. It does mean hanging on to 600 plus gold, which is really difficult to do. I don't wanna. I'm not gonna go to a shop here, not intentionally. So like, there is a chance I run up to this event, find the Wombo shop or something, and okay, I'm pretty set on this path while I talk, and that could just clear out a bunch of my gold and maybe make it worth it to wait. I don't know. Oh, this is an annoying situation. Okay. So I could 17 block. This won't be that long of a fight. I don't think one... The thing is, if I play a strike right here, I trigger Rainbow Ring. I just don't think this is going to be a long enough fight for that to matter. And we have Permafrost, which is great. All right, what are you taking from me? Guards, the card I just picked up, or Spectrum Shift. Okay. Royal Gamble, Crescent Spears, not Pen Nib. Yeah, so with Arsenal, I could... actually just say, hey, Royal Gamble's not going to come into play. We can just get rid of you and turn you into 3 strength. I love that. I love that so much. We need to do 5 attacks, which is very difficult on a hand like this. That's not going to be enough to do anything. I guess I could do Venerate, because I'm going to need it for my upcoming attacks, and then defend. It's a very brutal turn. 10 damage, but here we are. Be gone on Ascender's Bane. Yeah, Brightest Flame just makes a ton of sense here. Block increases my strength. So we could do... Let's see what we got here. Reflect and Falling Star. Let's start with that. Yeah, Falling Star makes him weak. That does a bunch of damage. And then one more attack triggers his thing. So we'll do that here. And then here. And then that's not Pen Nib, but it's lethal. So, yeah. Spectrum Shift upgraded. Yes, in fact, I would like that back. Thank you very much. Collision Course would be awesome. This plus Arsenal plus Be Gone is like a 2-strength combo. I like it a lot. Collision Course in this deck is beautiful. And if we can get Pillars of Creation, that'll just be even better. Hello, free Relic. Venerable T-Set. I love that Relic. So solid. Just 2 extra energy on turn 1. It's like very hot cocoa, but at home. Once again... Oh, we actually have full block. Very beautiful. So, power. Interesting. So, I could get 1 strength and 1 dexterity from Rainbow Ring. Or I could get 1 strength per turn with Spectrum Shift. Or I could remember that this card is free and just play it anyway. And I got a strength off of that. Oh, I love it. All right. This is gorgeous. Okay, we're doing this. So we're going to play power, a skill. That's an attack. Again, Rainbow Ring, or could I just exhaust all these for a bunch of strength? Because I'm going to need a lot of strength next turn. Throwing Hatchet would come back. It would come back and be like half of his shield. I'm doing it. I really wanted to guards away all these defends, but I think that actually makes sense. Yeah, because 37 is not half, of course, but we have Falling Star. I don't think we need to worry about Royal Gamble. I think we're going to take care of it right there. And then we could just draw a card to see what happens. I'll just do that. Yeah, I like that. We could do Brightest Flame if this was like an elite or a boss fight, but I just don't think it'll come to that. Throwing Hatchet is being awesome. We have Reflect as well. Transform one of your cards. Let me see if I can do the math on this. Well, 18, we have lethal, so, I mean, we could just leave the fight. Instead of thinking about how to keep playing, Hidden Cache, I think being upgraded is exactly what this needs. Royal Gamble has been a dead card half the time. Venerate is like the only thing I got going for me here. Vulnerable would be great. Vulnerable without having to spend stars would be very strong. We have very high strength scaling, which means Exterminate is awesome. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it. I figured it out in the end there, don't you worry. I'm gonna do... Yeah, this will waste the 7 block, but it's very important. As usual, I want Rainbow Ring. As usual, I don't have the capability to do everything. So we're just going to get rid of all of this and turn it into 3 strength and better block cards I'll find later. These guys kind of suck. I am not a fan of them. That's a full... Ooh, I have an aggressive idea. You are 21 health. That's so frustrating. My fire potion is just barely. So I'm thinking Falling Star on 1, Collision Course is lethal, if we do it on the left guy especially. Then if we strike, that's mostly a full block. We still defend. I mean, we have full block if I just focus it on here. But if I'm going to make, you know, vulnerable damage, that'll be 8, 9. So I'm thinking if I strike, I can Collision Course as a pen nib, do 28, you know, it'd be like 48. Like, it'd be a lot. We could do half his health this turn. But then I don't really have a plan. I'm going to Swift Potion and just see what my options are. Not a lot better. So I'm going to have to go the boring way. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Then we're going to pen nib you. That increases my strength. That'll give me Ornamental Fan. I could exhaust this to draw a card, but I like the idea of just saving a little bit of health here. And of course, that is the skill I needed to activate Rainbow Ring. And keeping track of these things just makes you stronger. Play 3 random attacks. I mean, that could be 3 strikes. 18 damage leaves me in a pickle, but Brightest Flame is kind of just right there. So, I mean, sure, why not? Strike, Collision Course, strike. Yeah, I think I'll Brightest Flame. Yeah, that's a scary situation to be in. We could be gone. We could be gone. Yeah. That gives me strength. 14 damage is going to draw 2 cards. And we could just kill. I mean, that's definitely an option. Let's go for that. This guy coming back every time is brutal. But Exterminate is so good. This adds strength to Exterminate. Secret Weapon exhausts, and I don't have anything to draw, so I guess we can just go for it? That's why I was surprised I even thought about it. Like, you have Exterminate. It's right there. It's gonna be awesome. And then we got this far right guy, very close into lethal. Exterminate again. Hi. Exterminate on this deck. So Celestial Might is one of those things we could consider. Hey, we got strength scaling. This is the single target version of your group attack, but the group attack is kind of why we don't need it. In a 27 card deck, I don't expect to be seeing it often. So I think a card that'll take advantage of all this strength makes sense. Begone is Begone. But Celestial Might, if we can pen nib that, will be very, very good versus a single target like him. As usual. Yeah. Reflect. And then we actually don't want to weaken him with Falling Star, even if we could. Let's get rid of a strike. And then I'll be, unfortunately, drawing something here. But that'll advance Joss Paper, activate my power and my Rainbow Ring Relic. Like, it's a lot. And then we didn't weaken him, so Reflect did max damage here, and it's good stuff. We could play... Well, we can't play 3 attacks. I mean, is it really just... Yeah. Turns like this exist. Card draw would be great. That card that allows you to transform 2 upcoming cards would be really nice, and I think this is a great Brightest Flame. I got a lot I want to do here, and nothing in my hand. Exterminate would kind of annihilate my deck. Astral Pulse would as well. Exterminate is interesting because that's like the card I would need to play, but really it's Celestial Might that we want to play. This is going to spam so many attacks. I think this makes sense. Royal Gamble, yeah, I like this. And then we're going to draw cards here. Let's do that. Let's get rid of a lot, and then if I play these, I could draw with Dross Paper, which is an extremely expensive idea. It's just a strike, but look at this. Pen Nib Exterminate. This is going to load up my deck. I know. It's brutal. But our strength went up and his health went down. These are 2 things I really enjoy doing in this game. Hidden Cache, Spectrum Shift. Yeah, this is going to be a rough turn. This is going to hurt a lot. Yeah. We might be resting at the next site. And I think we just have to think here. Yep. And yep. And I think this is obviously just a fire potion. Yep. Get us out of here. That guy punishes us for playing multi-attacks, which is something we very much want to do. And it... Hello, Supermassive. This won't scale with my strength, but I mean... Come on. I think that's probably the last attack we need, by the way. Oh, I'm not doing the cheese. This will basically kill me. So we're sort of stuck into this. If there's anything that draws cards, I'm doing it. And Hidden Cache would allow us to afford drawing cards. Actually, Photon Cut might actually... a second Hidden Cache would allow us to actually get stars. Photon Cut If it was upgraded. If it was upgraded. Hidden cash is fine without an upgrade. So let's get a ton of cash and consider the fact that we probably cannot take on 2 elites, and we just got a nice little mailbox. I think we're going to continue up the middle. I think that makes sense. Okay. Please don't be Bing Bong. Alright, Daughter of the Wind. Attacks block me. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. And please no combat. Beautiful. Tuning Fork is awesome. That is going to give us so much free block. I love it. We are absolutely going to rest. We're going to grab a couple of potions. Regen and Colorless are beautiful, because that counts as generating a card with the Colorless. So, after a big old shop, I'm going to be a lot more comfortable in this next fight. We have a lot to think about here. A lot to think about here. I like it. Anchor gives us an excellent turn 1. Cosmic Indifference gives us more control over our very large deck. Card Remove is just a card remove, so that's a deal. Pale Blue Dot is card generation, and it's Rainbow Ring. And Photon Cut is not profit on card draw. Really, I don't want this card until it draws 2. That's sort of the tricky part there. If I could drink this potion and get all of its benefits and then buy Swift Potion, I would. I like Patter as well. That'll give us extra vigor, which helps versus the multi-hit attacks and levels out our block, and Splash. Yeah, a free attack from a different character is a very big deal, and I think I like all of that. Plenty of gold left over for the very next shop, but I love that. 5 energy, Fighter's Flame, Exterminate. Yikes. Okay. Alright. Grand Finale. Austie isn't here, so it's gonna have to be Dagger Spray, but I don't even want... Well, that'll scale with my strength eventually, so... And then I do want Pale Blue Dot. Can we... Dude, this is greedy as hell, but I'm doing it. Oh, that's next turn. That's fine, though. No Pen Nib. I think I could regen? Maybe? No, not both. We don't need to be that dramatic. Let's do an attack. Dagger Spray, Exterminate. Honestly, fine. Yeah. So that's Daughter of the Wind and everything full blocking us. 26 damage getting... Not reflected. I always think that Pale Blue Dot is the reflect, even though that's not what I did. Alright, Spectrum Shift. That's power. I really like this skill. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. And then an attack. So then we'll defend for more. Cool. 10 damage versus an elite is something I will take. We're gonna really not want to play skills here. So let's see. We've got 6. So that's 7, 8, 9. We need to play 3 attacks before we Celestial Might. Alright, let's do this. And then we can afford Celestial Might. That might be lethal. Oh boy, it is. Do I get 6 more health from regen, or do I just take the win? I think I should take the win. This guy's gonna punish all of my upcoming hands. Regen potion might have gotten wasted, but I figured I would get some other potion, so not a big deal, I think. And Pillar of Creation. Crap. Charge is exactly the card I wanted. Here's what I'm thinking. If I do Pillar of Creation, I can upgrade it, and that's my block solution. If I charge, that's a little bit of extra. So charge is -2 bad cards in my draw pile. That is +2 strength. It's also 0.4 card draw if you're exhausting with Joss. That's a lot going for me. I do think that's better than Pillar of Creation. Barely. I'm basically going Glass Cannon with this, and anybody who knows me knows that's just my thing anyway. I will rest. It hurts to do it, but yeah. So, Fortifier, I don't think we need attacks. Regen isn't going to do much. We're actually nearly at full health. Fortifier could just be a nice big turn, and Colorless, especially on this character, is really strong. So I think we're going to go for it. I think missing 14 health isn't that bad. We're a little bit behind on upgrades, but I think we got a great deck going here. So... Arsenal... I don't want to do Guiding... Well, actually, I do. And then Collision Course would generate a card. I'm just going to Brightest Flame. We are fighting a boss here, and Strawberry basically gave us 7 more uses. Yeah, I like it. So we're going to do... I guess everything. I'm going to do the Patter last. Even though we already did everything we needed to. Yeah, and then Defend does not accomplish anything. It advances Tuning Fork, which is at 9 anyway. Cool, we'll leave it out alone. We'll leave that alone, and then we'll be in a pretty good spot. I like it. How's the stream going? So much better now that you're here, Aqua. Always happy to see you. Oh, hello. You're not just going to give that to me. I mean, I will take it. So that's a power. We need to play an attack. And I don't want to get rid of Falling Star. I can't afford it. We can get rid of one Frantic Escape. Yeah. Uh-huh. And then that gave me 7 off Tuning Fork. Okay. And then this is not Pendib, but that's fine. That'll give me a permanent Dexterity. I mean, we're full block anyway, and I can't afford that. All right. Not my best turn. I think I made maybe a mistake there. We'll see. We'll see. We exhausted. Nothing that I'll miss, I think. We'll see. We'll see. This is an interesting turn. Okay, I'm going to start with the Gone. And then I'll just draw a card with that. And then we're already blocking 9 out of 31. Hidden Cache. We don't need a frantic Escape yet. We're blocking 16 out of 30. I don't think we need a Fortifier yet. I think Eternal Armor was just a really great draw. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So that's a skill. That's a power. That's an attack. I'll even do Astral Pulse. And I absolutely need to draw a Frantic Escape or I'm dead. So that's just where we're at. Wow! Is it really over? Just like that? No. I have some things I can do. Wow, I did not realize all of them were past me. I should have played them as they went. I have no shame in retrying a fight, because I always like to play this game from the perspective of somebody who's learning. I've never claimed to be a perfect expert, and I really would rather give her another crack than completely fail the fight. So, Supermassive Pendib just makes sense. And I don't think there's any way to get better damage out of that. So we can just do this. Supermassive does 80 damage. And then I ran out of energy. But yeah, Sandpit will eat me anyway. All right. So this was an honorary fail. But in order to just keep the fight going and maybe not throw everything away, I'm going to learn from that little mistake and see what we can do after that. So I still like my opening hand. Everything I did makes sense for me. That is fine. That is fine. Patter. Even get rid of debris. Tuning Forks on 9. I liked everything about how we started that. I think this is the turn where I played Colorless Potion. These are always fixed. And I'm trying to do everything as close to as I did before. Like, this is where I said I might have made a mistake. Guards was greedy. I really should have just done Frantic Escape. And I think that was probably the better hand. We can just Guards later when we're in a situation where that's more dire. I still like the idea of transforming a strike here. Playing it draws me 2 cards, which I like. And I like the blend of... Yeah, I'm going to do Frantic Escape anyway. Just because this is where I should have paid more attention last time. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, all of my Frantic Escapes here. If I had noticed and paid attention more to my game, I would have seen the next 3.1 or 3.2 turns are not going to have any chance to get away. So getting those in play is dire. 22 damage is less important than Sandpit, so I'm glad I'm paying more attention to that now. So Celestial Might, unfortunately, actually, this is where an inaccuracy occurred. So because I gained strength from my Rainbow Ring, Celestial Might is actually slightly stronger to do next. You know, you get 1 extra damage doing it in that order, but, you know, these are just things to think about. 12 damage times 2. Now we're not on the verge of death, because I actually messed around with Sandpit, and instead of humming about my incoming death, I can actually focus on playing the game. So I still like Charge, get rid of Ascender's Bane, and I like all of these cards. I think Pale Blue Dot is just sort of the hardest for me to use, and that can just go. And then I still like everything I did, but I can see now that I won't be able to defend. So if I want Supermassive Pendib, I kind of need to just go for it. And I don't have enough energy to trigger Ninjaku. So either block 11 or do an extra like 30 damage, which is huge. Yeah, health is a resource. Let's use it. And then that's Pendib. I mean, that's just such a big deal. And then Eternal Armor gives me some extra block. Taking 16 is brutal, but I mean, come on. 10 block and extra strength is amazing. Throwing Hatchet is back again. So that's a skill. Calamity is a power I cannot afford. Cosmic Indifference. I would like the idea of maybe another charge. Just put that on top of my draw pile. We are full block. Venerate's probably not necessary. Thrumming Hatchet is fine. It's just not, like, where my damage is coming from. What's Splash gonna give me? Banshee's Cry? Hello. We are full block, right? Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll never get to play it again, so let's do Dash. And then... Sure. That guarantees lethal next turn. And then we are 1 turn away from death, and we do have Frantic Escape, but it won't come to that. Yeah, so got it on the second try. I'll admit that was a loss, but I'm happy that we were able to at least clutch it out. Somebody in the chat wants my floor lamp to be purple. I can absolutely do that. These are just the joys you get hanging out on stream. Twitch link down below. I always do record these on stream. Foregone Conclusion could be really great with a deck this huge. 34 cards is a lot. I am trying to transform a lot of those, but that's all I can do. I have done nothing with Sovereign Blade, but this is just a free energy and a free star. The draw 1 card just replaces itself, so it's not that exciting. And it is also draw 1.2 cards, because it's, you know, 1/5 of Joss Paper. So that's worth considering. I liked Make It Skill. Make It Skill? Make It So. The one time we had this was actually quite strong. This got up to, like, a lot of damage really easily. Foregone Conclusion is sort of spending energy we don't have. Big Bang is not an energy solve. It just makes my current hand a little bit more affordable. I like it. It's such an easy pickup. It just says, hey, my deck's already good, and this just makes it a little bit better. The Architect has gone mad. If only a Noble Champion could save us. Fear not. I, the Regent, will put an end to the madness. But first, to you. Glitter is actually something I was hoping to see. This thing is insane. All of your future cards are doubled on the first play, which is just a dramatic change. It's so good. It's so good. Extra energy at the cost of days is really tough. I don't love that. They will exhaust for Joss Paper, but my deck is already struggling a lot with card draw. There is a chance Charge or Begone could come into play. Guards could turn those into useful cards. This whole deck's theme has been adding bloat. 1 extra energy would be quite useful, and then I could just hunt for card draw wherever I could find it. Diamond Diadem, I love and hate this because it is a relic that can basically win the game. If you're willing to play 2 cards at a time, the amount of damage this reduces is dramatic. Aeon Glass can do 30 and 50 damage turns. This can just block for 15 or 25 damage on its own. That is a game winner. I just don't like it. That's it. That's my whole reason. It's just not fun to use. Glam, I think, is the most fun. And Blessed Antler is something that I feel like could kill the run. Those 3 dazed on the wrong turn. You know, I have Brightest Flame. I want it. That's why I'm thinking about it. I have Guiding Star. I have Big Bang. I have Charge. I could turn the dazed into minion dive bombs before I ever even have a chance for them to be a problem. So I think in this very specific case, it does well. I just don't know if 1 extra energy is worth, you know, picking up new cards is something I don't necessarily need to keep doing. And I think the extra energy would go a long way. Glam is very strong. It's the one that I wanted, but yeah. So because we have a gargantuan amount of gold, I think an early shop just makes sense. We could go to this second shop if it's bad, but this left side is awesome. Rest Site, Elite Rest Site is just awesome, and we can always sleep with Tiny Mailbox, and I'm not really feeling a triple elite. I'm not even sure it's possible. So this left side just makes total sense. We have a ton of gold. Let's go ahead and take advantage of that. So we can start with Arsenal. Begone just turns strike into damage. I love that. And we could draw it and then turn Royal Gamble into something. Or we could do this. Then we could exterminate, and then here's what I'm thinking. This puts something on top. What's more important? Pushing a little bit of damage now, or Begone just making our deck more consistent? I'm just scared of drawing those days, and I'm playing around it. Musician came into my chat and said Beast. I don't know what that means. I don't know if a normal enemy like this is worth... Alright, Pale Blue Dot and a skill is just like... Interesting. Do we have to do it... First time you play an attack skill and a power. Was that not? Oh, did I not attack? I think I forgot to play an attack. We could do Minion Strike. Oh, actually. Hidden Cache. Oh, I thought it was at 4. Counting is so hard, you guys. They should really teach that in schools. Alright, well, Manifest Authority gives me strength. Hello, Scrawl. It is a Scrawl turn. I am definitely doing that. So this makes things simple. I'm full block. I've activated Rainbow Ring. I really want to play Royal Gamble. Patter feels like a way. Let's just splash. Sure. I'll take 3 Frost. Why not? I love it. Who doesn't want 2 block per turn? Sure. All right, Spectrum Shift. That's a power, skill, another skill. All right, we have some very fun options here, and I think it is gonna be cool. All right, yeah, we're gonna do that. Then we are going to... Guiding Star is 6 less than Sovereign Blade and draws cards, so we're gonna do that. So I was gonna mess with guards and generate a bunch of strength, but I think we just have lethal. That's... yeah, 53. Very cool. Very cool. Gather Light could be perfect. I've been a little bit short on stars and a little bit short on block, and I really think that solves both. So let's go with that. All right, we got a lot to think about here. Free Sovereign Blade is tricky because I would actually like to generate Sovereign Blade after Arsenal's in played. We just lose 1 strength if we buy this. Worth thinking about. Healing off of events is fine. That's 12 health right there. Not a very strong use of 226 gold, but it's there. 3 block on some key cards could be great. Terraforming 6 vigor is interesting because that's in the way that my deck is working, kind of like getting 6 generated cards right there. And, you know, that's a thought. I have less multi-attacks than it seems, though. I've got Celestial Might and Exterminate. And then I've got Astral Pulse. So there's really only 3 cards in my deck that actually want this. Right here, the Vigor. So I don't have the energy to just spam that. Flash of Steel gives me a little bit of control over my deck. I kind of like it. Simply because it'll draw a card, advance Pen Nib, and advance Nunchaku. Like, there are 3 good reasons I would actually... And Ornamental Fan. Like, this is kind of a lot going on in 1 card, and I think that's worth a buy. I like 3 cards of block. I think that makes sense. I want to, of course, upgrade cards that I'm definitely going to play anyway. Big Bang, I'm going to play it... In fact, so like Flash of Steel is an instant play. That can just give me 3 block. If I'm playing a block card to block, it makes sense that I would want that. So like Arsenal, that just gives me 10 block on turn 1. I love that. And nope, I really don't want that on a power. I want these to be... Android is... Android? Every single time. It's not the first time you play it. So like, if I'm going to be playing a card that blocks, like Reflect, I want that to just do more. Yeah, I like that. Reflect. So these are like... Flash of Steel I play all the time. I mean, that's basically an instant play. But these cards are like, if I'm blocking, I might as well block for 3 more. I like that. 150 gold for a card remove is a tough sell. I think we've got other shops coming up, and... Collision Course is the kind of card I'll grab in a card reward, but I'm not going to spend 48 gold on it. That's my current logic. I have enough gold for a relic if I go to this shop, but then I'll have next to nothing for that later shop. So let's just hold on. Well, it's a random relic. I mean, I will lose this. I mean, that's going to be 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. I will lose 20 health if I grab this. I'll take a relic. Collision Course and Falling Star are fine upgrades. Just a little bit of flat damage. Not very exciting ones, but I'll take it. All right. So 16, that's 28 damage. That's 17. That's 25. Do I want to lose a little bit of max health just to get Spectrum Shift in hand? It's only 1 strength. And it's a random card. I think we can kill. This is not a boss fight. Oh, I did not even consider Tuning Fork. Whoops. Yeah, looking at your relics before you play cards is always recommended. Very easy to forget. Let's get rid of Strike. So that gives me strength. That gives me a power. And then as soon as I play a skill... Ooh. That'll... Oh, I already did a skill. Alright, well, that's just gonna be awesome. 8 twice is 16. If I Strength Potion, it would be 20 damage. It's not lethal, but it feels good. And then... Okay. Kind of brutal. So we can do this, and then I think Astral Pulse again. And do I care Enough about max HP here, because I'm going to lose 3 max. Sure. That's basically like drinking the 5 max HP potion, because it would have saved me 6. These guys give you, yeah, 2 max HP. That's brutal. Hello, Flash of Steel. Celestial Might. Yeah. So this is not lethal. Let's think about this. Flash of Steel is an instant play. We talked about this. Astral Pulse is doing 16, so let's bring you closer. Guiding Star basically confirms a kill. Patter just makes us do more. That's why I did not worry about losing that extra. Ooh, Orbit sounds fantastic. I really like Orbit. Can we upgrade it soon? Yeah, I think that's the card I'm going to want to upgrade. I like Orbit a lot. This card loses Exhaust. Royal Gamble could be insane. Guards replaying could be awesome. Big Bang loses Exhaust? That's worth a curse. That's worth a curse. Every time I draw this, I get to just get a free energy, free stars. This is why I restart runs, you guys. I have one bad combat. I have to throw away all this fun. Draw 2 fewer cards at the start of each combat. I guarantee 17 block on turn 1. I can't believe I'm actually considering this. 20 max HP could absolutely be the buffer I need. I have a 39 card deck. 2 random cards could absolutely just be 2 strikes. I think Big Mushroom is fine. I have a safe turn 1. Wow. Can't believe I'm doing this. I do not like that event, usually. But, I mean, come on. Miniature Cannon is great. That makes me very much want to upgrade my multi-attacks. Exterminate would just do 7x4. But I want the card that lets me play other cards. Orbit does not get played unless it's upgraded. Just straight up. And the amount of energy you get from that is a huge deal. The Derpy Boy just said knock knock. Well, welcome. Hello. Yeah, 2 fewer cards is gnarly. Although, I can at least do this. Not bad, honestly. I'll take 8 damage, but I can afford to because I have 20 max HP, right? That's how that works. This is what I was scared of with the Dazed. This is a very, very brutal turn. I mean, at least I can Pen-Nib Supermassive. Yikes. Yikes. This is terrible. I'm going to need to rest for sure. Orbit. Let's Brightest Flame first. Okay. I really just want to see more cards. I wanted to wait until I did Falling Star. Okay. Cosmic Indifference on Flash of Steel, and then draw Flash of Steel, because that's just 5 block. 5 block skills with your dexterity? Oh, come on. That's too good. I love it. Collision Course? What is happening? What is happening? Spite? Probably not. Misery is just an attack. Okay. Oh, shoot. I played that too early. Well, Falling Star is not getting played anyway. So I was going to do Collision Course and then do it on that. Wow, what a turn. Well, that's full block and a half. Let's just get rid of the debris. And then Crescent Spear for 23 damage. Yeah, this deck has a lot of things going for it. Orbit. Ooh, hello, Dazed. I want Gather Light. But Minion Sacrifice might be better. Because I want to do Exterminate and Hidden Cache. Let's do it. That's just going to be 3 strength for Exterminate. And I love it. So let's do this. Because we're going to draw a card with Joust Paper. Not a very exciting card. I could just play it to advance Tuning Fork. But then we can... Oh, Exterminate is going to trigger Orbit, which is unfortunate. I should have... No, it's not unfortunate. It's an inaccuracy. That's just me not paying full attention, but that's what you get. 27, we have lethal, I think. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's Pen-Nibbed. And we're out of here. Happy Flower is a gorgeous relic. A second Spectrum Shift. I've been begging for card draw, though. Glow gives me stars and less card draw. We are okay on stars. I really think it's Glimmer. It's gotta be a rest. I just took way too many hits. Star Potion? Yes, please. We have attacks. We have attacks. I'll drop the Strength 2 in the boss fight if I can. Okay. Royal Stamp helps a lot. Innate and Retain when I only have a few cards means I could just give that to Brightest Flame. Starting every fight with that, it's like I want Master Strategy, but I mean, Brightest Flame? Are you kidding me? Opening the game with that sounds fantastic. I think that's just better because it's replayable. So Master Strategy is like a one-time bonus of 2 extra cards than you otherwise would have had in your hand. Royal Stamp is like, I can't afford both. If I could do Royal Stamp on Master Strategy, that would be amazing. I just cannot. So, Child of the Stars would be really nice. Spend stars, gain block. I don't think I spend a ton of stars. And I might have lost the plot, where Crescent Spear wanted me to have a lot of star cards. Although I kind of do. This is hitting for over 20 damage. It's not a bad card to have in the deck. And, okay. I think it's Royal Stamp. And I can't do that on an enchanted card. Oh yeah, I was thinking of Brightest Flame. That's what it is. Brightest Flame upgraded is basically Master Strategy on steroids. And I think that's just a very solid card to have. I wanted the unupgraded Glow earlier. I still like it. I need this deck to cycle faster, and these are my desperate attempts to try it. So, I get to start every combat with Brightest Flame at Arsenal. How gorgeous is that? I love it. I love it. Look at all this card draw I have now. Not a single attack, which is unfortunate, but I mean, that is a much better turn than I otherwise would have had. Venerable Tea-Set is practically wasted in this deck now, but I'm having a hard time carrying. That's an important card to play. That increases my strength. And that advances Tuning Fork. And Supermassive is 18 damage. I will waste Nchaku, but we are swimming in energy in this deck, so I think we're just okay. And I'll let that go. Exhausting that Crater did give me Jaws Paper as well, which is nice. An unfortunate draw order. Let's do... Yeah, I mean... Power... Skill, attack? Let's actually do the attack on... Oh, right, the Vigor. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then we'll strike. And we can't get rid of the Decay, but 2 damage is not a problem. It's really just a burn right now, which is fine. I love that the turn that we have burns is where we get the card that burns me. I love so much about what I see right now. It's going to be Orbit, Royal Gamble, Reflect, Gather Light. That draws me a card, which just breaks all of his artifacts, and I can just draw 2 more cards anyway. Really wish I could have played Venerate. I was not keeping track of my energy, but I'll take it. I have 7 stars anyway. 45 damage to yourself is gorgeous. 2 of the Dazed, unlucky, but I think we're okay. 11 damage 3 times is nice. Stratagem might not even come up, but it would be very nice. I have 4 energy, so I'm basically playing Stratagem or Hidden Cache if I don't want to go all out on attacks, and I do. I think we have 7 stars affords everything coming up, and we have Big Bang on the way, so we really don't need to worry about that. So let's do damage. Orbit. You know, you guys, I'll learn eventually. And then I did play that first just for the Rainbow Ring. So I'm not keeping track of my power, but I am trying to keep track of my relics. I'm doing my best, everybody. I'm doing my best. I'm new to the game. Beatdown and guards just sounds awesome. I get to juice my strength and play, I mean, like, right? I mean, and it's not an Astro Pulse game. Well, I mean, are we gonna be gone after that? Probably not. Charge is just too great. I don't want to get rid of it. Yeah, I'll take 5 strength. Why not? Sure. Ooh. If I do Astro Pulse, right? Then I can... Well, okay, I don't know what Beatdown is going to play. I'm trying to pen nib whatever Beatdown plays, but... It'll just pen nib the middle one. So it doesn't... I'm either pen nibbing the first or the third. First or the second. It doesn't matter, whatever. Supermassive would have been... Oh, he's dead anyway. Oddly Smooth Stone is so good. Upgraded Glimmer? Yes, please. Block Potion? I think we're okay. I think we're okay. And, yeah, I mean... I think Brightest Flame avoids enough damage that it's worth it. So, it's not Ascension 10, but... Here we are. Days in the opening hand. This is why I upgraded Brightest Flame. That full extra card on turn 1 is huge. That's a skill. Yeah, I won't be able to... Well, is that an attack? Okay, I guess there's something there. And I'm going to Strength Potion because you might as well. And I have no reason not to just drink Star Potions as soon as I have them. Spectrum Shift. Yeah, 2 powers in the same turn is tricky. Is Spectrum Shift just weighted towards my attack here? Like, that's been crazy. Or my opening hand? Every time. And then this is going to generate. Does that affect my arsenal? It does not. Okay, I didn't think it would, but I was pretty curious. And then that exhaustion did draw me a strike, which I was expecting. Not the strike, but a card. Ultimate Defend got generated. Charge. I have 30 block because I moved it. Wow, that's awesome. So this is what I was talking about, where, like, Dazed will exhaust on their own. I think Decay is actually a bigger problem, but still, I'd rather not draw that. Splash? Yeah, why not? Shatter? Mangle? I know he's got artifacts. Pillage? Pillage might actually be better. Mangle's not really doing anything. And then Mangle is unplayable after. When this card recycles, I will want something better. Hidden Cache is so strong. Dude, 5 block is so amazing. I'm having a hard time keeping track of Rainbow Ring, so that's a free attack. And then Glimmer. Actually, I'll just do Hidden Cache. So I guess Rainbow Ring already triggered if I didn't have a power in play. And I kind of just spammed that card without considering the consequences. So we'll just do that for Ornamental Fan and cards getting generated. Oh, this deck is so fun. The card generation on this character is always very enjoyable. 10 strength on turn 3 is like what I'm talking about. That's so satisfying. Can I get Celestial Might Pended? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards I can afford. And then Celestial Might gets the upgrade on that. I love it. Let's do 1, 2, 3. 32 damage 3 times. Happily. Hit me with a Wither. Don't you dare. Alright. We have choices to make. Discovery is just awesome. Sovereign Blade is not something we're really doing. Tyranny is really great for those Withers. So I'm doing that. That's a power. That's a skill. Maybe we can do Supermassive next turn. And then that's an attack. So then I think this is just a fantastic guards. Pale Blue Dot's just not going to get played. And this is just unupgraded. Glow is great. We wanted Glow. I know, but 1, 2, 3. And then we drew Supermassive. An inaccuracy. I should have expected that. We'll take a little bit of damage if I don't play this minion sacrifice, but I just think we're fine. I'll play one more just to advance Tuning Fork. Full block comfortably. I think I didn't need to do that anyway. Alright, and now we're exhausting cards. We don't need Basic Strike. Do we really? Well, actually, Volley. 29 damage. X. That's so good. That's so good. I love that. I think we should maybe just block this turn. Let's Guiding Star. Start there. Royal Gamble will draw me a card. Whenever you spend block, gain 2. And then that should be, yeah, Rainbow Ring is such a strong relic. 4 dexterity and 4 strength. I mean, I know the strength isn't as useful with what we're doing here, but I'll take it. Begone the Wither. Oh, absolutely. Is it just, Patter Defend? Yeah, I think so. The Astral Pulse is just so much damage. Yeah, why not? And Volley's not X+1, so I think we are getting through this boss very comfortably. Exhaust, a Wither. Bolus is doing 25 damage now at 22 strength. Orbit! Yeah, why not get put at the very bottom of my deck? Wonderful, wonderful to see you. Big Bang! Yeah, the card that doesn't exhaust anymore. Hang out at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, join the club. Unbelievable. That can at least go back on top. Bolus too. Dude, these are cards I would have wanted. I might as well work on that. Work on those artifacts. Sovereign Blade is going to be able to get Pen-Nibbed. That's the only reason I'm not thinking about playing it now. Yeah, I have the energy, but not enough card draw in the world. Alright, Exhaust. Withers are worse than Debris, so I'll do that. I have so many things I want to do. We want to play Bolus. We want to Big Bang. Volley is lethal, I think. Can we Pen-Nib it? Is it important enough to Pen-Nib it? I doubt it. Let's go for it. Let's just get lethal, clear Ascension 9, and call it a good day. So, definitely a weird deck. This character, I like the fact that I can grab an extra strike and defend, get some really decent relics that were relevant all the way to the final boss fight. That's kind of why large capsule is sort of growing on me. I don't know if there's any weight towards uncommon or rare relics with this, but an extra strike and defend is less punishing on a character that is all about transforming random cards into decent stuff and getting strength bonuses from it. Arsenal Innate was a very, very nice upgrade. That was a great that worked. I mean, Pendant was useful all the way to the very end, as it would be. And playing into the very specific relics that I got, I mean, other than like Juzu, there's not much you can do with that. I was honestly afraid of enemy fights, and I think you might have caught me counting events as potential enemies without realizing I had Juzu, but regardless, that's taken care of. We won the game. Tiny Mailbox was really helpful because it's not fun resting when you want upgraded cards instead, but when your deck is so big it doesn't matter and you're getting 2 potions. I did end up using all of my potions, so it did come into play. Blessed Antler. This got me killed one time. It is not a relic you should grab lightly, but I specifically had a deck that was a little bit less punished by those dazes, and we ended up turning them into damage. Flash of Steel with the Android. I don't do this one often, Kafuda here, but I saw a YouTuber use it once, and it kind of reminded me how good it was. And the fact that this scales to dexterity, unbelievable. Finding all that strength and dexterity scaling makes everything good, but Flash of Steel being a 0-cost draw card, get a bunch of damage, get a bunch of block, advanced Pednib, advanced Nunchaku. It didn't advance Tuning Fork, but it was still quite good. So yeah, there's just a lot going for this deck, and no matter how big it got, I mean, Brightest Flame instead of a rest was a bold move, but it really did help. Making this royally approved in Innate on turn 1 was the way to go. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Finally, I have Ascension 10, so any future Regent videos will be on Ascension 10. These are the different badges. We defeated a boss without losing HP? That I did not know. That's pretty cool. I don't know which one it was. It might have been the last one, because we were pretty well set up at that point. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, check out the other videos, and I'll see you guys later.